Hey guys, I'm back doing another preview for Airsoft guns here. This time I have a Tokyo Marui P90. This gun was developed by a company in Europe, Denmark I believe, for use as an assault rifle power and a submachine gun size for soldiers who would, whose job it was to ride in tanks and drive other vehicles where they can't carry a large assault rifle. The real version of this gun will penetrate body armor. The round is specially designed for it. I do have one modification, external mod right now on this gun. That's the 4-rail from Nitro. It also has a laser sight by BSA, which I might add is very, very bad. Beyond about 30 feet, it's not going to be accurate on anything. The Nitro rail I actually really like. A lot of people think it makes the gun look extremely ugly. I don't think that. I like the way it looks. And it actually will hold the silencer quite well. Right now I just have the flash suppressor in there. I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not. But it has 4 rails on it, one on each side. The bottom rail here, and the top rail, which is where I have the laser sight on right now. It still does allow the top rail on the TR version of the Tokyo Marui, which is what I have. The TR stands for tri-rail. It has a top rail, 2 very small side rails on it. The regular version, instead of having the rails here, the top rail, it has a built-in red dot scope, which is actually also quite good, but just not my style. I prefer the flexibility of being able to add my own external mods. The standard version comes with a magazine with extremely real looking rounds on there. Bottom side you can see there has the exit point for the BBs. Real cap for the P90 is 50 rounds. The Airsoft version comes with a 60 round magazine, so if you're playing real cap games, make sure you leave out the last 10 rounds when you load up. One of the neat things about this gun is the way it's loaded. Instead of putting the magazine in the bottom, you put it into the top. You have to slide it in, push it down, and give it a little pull backwards. If you don't give it that little pull backwards, it won't lock in and the BBs won't feed properly. To release, there's a little switch right here. Not sure if you guys can see that from the top there too. It kind of pokes out a little bit. But you have to pull that back so it pops the magazine up, slide it out. It takes a little practice to do speed changes on this, but play around with it and you won't have that problem. Also with the next mod that I show you, you won't need to even worry about the 60 round cap. It's one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of low magazines there. I'm just going to take the plastic flash hider, which it does come with, as well as a black metal flash hider, which I've gone and lost immediately. I keep the plastic one on there just for travel purposes. You never know, you don't want to get in trouble with the police. If you get pulled over, they see a gun case, they may want to see what's in it. So, there's the plastic flash hider it comes with. We're just going to toss that aside for right now. And what I'm going to do is put on, this is the silencer that it comes with. It's actually a really slick looking silencer, and I'm going to come up here and just show up close. It is marked with US government markings. You can see it's kind of covered up by the tape there. Hopefully you guys can read that anyway. But it is very, very realistic looking. You can see the bright orange tape I put on there for obvious reasons. It is illegal to have an airsoft gun without a bright orange tip on it. And personally, I like not getting shot. It does come with a 14mm counterclockwise thread. Real easy to put on silencers, or for those of you that have a tracer unit, which I actually also have, and this gun looks awesome with a tracer unit. And it works very, very well with the tracer. That just screws on like so. And you've got a little bit better look to it there. Without the silencer, I don't think the Nitro rail here looks quite as good on the P90. Now I'm going to add on the first factory box magazine. One of the neat things with this is if you have players that have an M14 or an M16, it will take those magazines. Now, It's a box magazine. This upper section here holds approximately 1,000 rounds or so, maybe a little more. And this bottom section right here is used for putting in an M16 or M4 magazine. Now you load this the same way. Slide it in from the top, slap it down. You got to line up the front there a little bit. You give it a little pull backwards. Now you see this open section right here where my fingers are moving? That's actually designed to hold a larger battery. And when you buy the first factory box magazine, it does come with a battery pouch for a larger battery as well as a feed. In order to use a larger battery in the P90, you have to get a stock extension to go on the back here. Battery slides right in the back, and don't worry, I'll give you guys a whole rundown on that in a moment. So you've got that. You can grab your M4 or M16 magazine. I happen to have a mag pull on mine just because I like mag pulls. I think they look cool. That slides right in like that and locks in place. The one thing you want to remember, this right here is a magazine release. Push down on this. Oop, see, there's a problem right there. If you're not careful, you can pop your mag on the top of this. Push down right there, slide it right out. Slide it right in, you're good to go. This is a high capacity magazine, holds 400 rounds, so you're looking at about 1,500 to 1,600 rounds total in this this gun right now. It makes it a great support weapon. If you don't have the money for a saw and you want that kind of firepower with you, this is awesome. This makes for a great setup. The silencer is one of the few silencers that actually works. It is not a mock silencer, and it does quiet the gun quite a bit. So this makes up for this makes a really sweet support weapon. It shoots stock. I haven't done any internal upgrades. It shoots stock about 15 to 16 rounds per second, and that's with an 8.4 volt battery. And it will shoot at about 260 feet per second, which isn't bad. I mean, it's a Tokyo Marui. You're not getting crazy power out of it. It is very easy to upgrade as well. The sling that's on here is one that I designed myself. It's on there permanently. If I want to take it off, I have to cut it. But it works well. It lets me hang it from the side and hangs right underneath my armpit, so I can just grab it easily. Now, to get to the battery, you push on the bottom here, slide the butt plate off, and the battery is right there. Now, there's no charge left, so I'm not going to fire this off for you guys. But I will show you one other thing. If you need to get to the gearbox, it's very, very easy. I'm not sure if you can see inside, but there's a couple of screws right in here. This plastic plate here that you can see my finger tapping against pops right off, and the whole gearbox just slides right out. It sits right inside here. So it's really easy. Just going to pop this stuff off here so I can show you. Ooh, there's a BB. To get to the hop-up, there is a little door underneath this section of the gun. It's right up under here, and you can easily adjust the hop-up there. Also, if you need to break down the gun, there is a little switch right here. You simply grab a hold of the upper receiver, just like that, push down on that switch, and the whole thing comes right apart. There's your hop-up, your feed, your barrel right there, and this is the false arming handle. The barrel is almost as long as an M16, so you can get some great accuracy. You can see to put this back together, it's very easy. Just make sure everything lines up, push the little button, slide it back in until it clicks, and you're locked back in place. I don't recommend taking this apart in the field, as it's going to be really easy to get dirt and gunk in there. So, it does have, obviously, a safety, single semi-auto fire and full auto fire. And yeah, you can get just about any number of accessories for it. Depending on what I like to use the gun for. If I'm going to be a support gunner or in a defensive stance, I've got an extendable bipod here for it. That's a foregrip. Latches right onto the bottom here. And it's got a little button to hit. And if I'm going to be in more of an offensive role, I actually went out and dropped the money instead of getting a cheap imitation. I bought the same foregrip that's used by the Israeli military for urban combat. It's a pistol grip style foregrip. It's got a trigger right here, and you can slide in any 1-inch diameter flashlight right in there. Screw it tight, and then when you pull the trigger well, it's not screwed in tight right now, but when you pull the trigger, the light comes on. Makes it really great for nighttime operations and urban operations. I love this thing. It's awesome. Very, very comfortable as well. I would highly recommend it. It does run, the foregrip alone runs about 70 bucks. This is a Surefire Nitrolon, and this runs about 36 bucks. Also for the top rail, I have a scope. Not that scopes are all that useful in airsoft. This is a hunting scope by BSA, but you know, when we're playing during the day, I like to have that on there. Helps me spot my guys a little bit more. And that's about it. If you guys have any questions about the P90, feel free to drop me a message here on YouTube.